Hickok 45, how y'all doing tonight? Well, guess what? You have arrived at a chapter 2 with the Swedish Mauser, one of my very favorite rifles. You hear me brag about it, and I will link to the other videos with this rifle. But we've not done a chapter 2, and I guess featured it on the main range and just talked about it. The first video I did with one of these was a borrowed one. Okay, we've done range 2. But I'm gonna take a shot and see if I can knock there's a ram over there at 230 yards. So I'm gonna take a shot or two at him, and before we go down to the shooting table. We'll feel better if I put a ram. Actually, it's a bighorn sheep, I think, out of his misery. This one has a red horn. It's a red horn sheep. All right, so let's start out with that and see if this thing will reach out to 230 yards. Actually, I know it will. The question is, can I see that far? For those new folks, now we're shooting across the first hill. The first hill is the main range here, and we're backed up here to where we can see over at 230 yards. All right, shooting a Federal Fusion, and we appreciate them supplying the ammo. Thanks, Federal. Okay. Ready to go. Question is, am I? I hope I can hear it. It's a regular ram over there. If I miss it, I won't hear it, will it? All right. Now I knew that one was off. Oh wow! I was holding directly on it. On the first two, I think I was holding a little bit high at the top edge of it. This is a really flat shooting cartridge. It just really is. So let's just put it on safe. It's a Mauser, so you can really lock that action up, right? So let's walk down here to the shooting table. And while I go, up too. And man, this is a beautiful rifle. We are so lucky, and there's some of those rounds. That is some of the, speaking of Federal, of course, that is the 140 grain soft point Swedish ammo, and they load the Fusion in that. Isn't that great? They load it. Some of these exotic, I shouldn't say exotic, but probably everybody doesn't load 6.5 or 55, and it's kind of cool. And there's cartridges the Federal doesn't load, like 30-40 crack. Some things are harder to find, but they have a wide range, of course. So that's nice being able to just dial them up. Hey, you need some ammo for even a Swedish Mauser, so appreciate that. And I still have what, 2 or 3 rounds in this thing. Yeah, it's a flat shooting round. Oh my gosh, is it? And it's famous for that. It's kind of the first Creedmoor, in a lot of ways. And let's just since we're kind of shooting longer distance, why don't we just go back or shoot some of the red plates over here. Take the safety off. All right, how about the big one on the left first? Is that with an empty case, right? Let's try the next one over there. Boom. And I guess we're empty. Okay. Yeah, man. That's right. We fired 5. We fired 3 at the ram, didn't we? Okay. I was holding, I was thinking, I'd taken a shot over there before. I was thinking I need to hold just a tad high. And not that I necessarily was, but I was attempting to. Just right on the very top of his back, or maybe a little above it. And that last hit, I felt like I was holding his right in the middle of the ram. So flat shooting, soft recoiling. I've bragged on it before. I'll link to the first video. Again, it was a borrowed one, just like this, kind of. It was made in 1917. This one was made in 1911. And I went into a lot of the history and different things. I won't rehash all this. Chapter 2. Just want to get out and shoot it. And I knew again you'd need to be here, right? You'd be very upset if you weren't. At least I hope some of you would be upset. because you all, as I said in the first video, are the reason I got into this gun and this cartridge. I just was not familiar with it and had requests for it, and finally investigated a little more, and oh boy, when I borrowed that one and shot it a little bit, fired that thing, I fell in love with it. I did. And then I found this one a little bit later. To prove I fell in love with it, I actually bought one, and this is a nice one. And I've had this thing for, I don't know, 7 years, something like that. I don't know. Time flies when you're having fun. It's all matching. Just a beautiful piece of workmanship, you know, that the Swedes are famous for. So anyway, let's load him up and shoot him again. Before we do, I want to remind you of someone else that helps us, atmex.com. You see all the Atmex treasures over there for the day. Pure silver, silver dollars, silver eagles, anything you're interested in the area of precious metals, check them out. And you know, go to the link in our description, Hickok 45 favorites page, however you want to get there, check them out. You'll enjoy that. Okay, what ammo should we fire? How about I like this. This is actually a soft point. It almost looks like a kind of like a solid or something, just with that interesting colored bullet in there, but it is a soft point. So let's try that. Okay, that's some of the blue box stuff there. There it is. Isn't that a pretty sight? A clip ready to load, and these old Mausers are so simple to load. They just feel good. And I hang on to the clip because they're not cheap, really. All right, where was I? You know what? There is a 2-liter over there sitting on that stand. Let's see if we can knock him off. I don't want to hit that pig behind it. I don't think I will. While we're destroying things over there, let's see if I can hit that cinder. There's another piece, I believe. Yeah. Boy, this thing, as I've said so many times, is a tack driver. Show that red plate on the right. One more round for the one in the middle. Yeah. You do a lot of missing with this rifle. Yeah, you better have some good excuses, because it's just, you know, there's no recoil to scare you, to anticipate, and to feel like you're oh, I gotta get ready for the recoil. Of course, that's mostly subconscious. It's not that you're thinking about it. It's just. And that's the problem. When we flinch, we don't know why always. We just do. But that's part of the reason. And most of you, if you'll notice, whenever you're shooting a 22 or something that has no recoil, you'll tend to shoot it better, even though it's not necessarily any more accurate than anything else, right? Yeah, and handgun or rifle or anything. But we just tend to shoot it a little bit better, and I think that's part of the reason. All right. Enough pontificating. Let's shoot something. Yeah, man. Only put one on the pumpkin. I don't know what, they won't do much to the pumpkin. But it is October, so we need to be do another pumpkin carving. We've done one. Oh! He didn't want to be carved, did he? Well, let's have smoke some pot instead. And a little bowling would be in order. She's empty. Oh, let's load it. I have ammo in my back pocket. Okay. We're in combat. I forgot. We're in combat. What am I doing? Yeehaw! Yeehaw! Some more bowling. Oh, didn't mean to shoot that fast. And let's bear down. Get to messing around. I'm out of ammo. Yeah, this is one of those cartridges that you might want to try sometime. These old surplus rifles are around. There were a lot of these made. I went into all that in the first video I'll link to. So there's lots of them. The carbine, the full length, And you know, it's just of course this is a relatively big rifle, right? This 96 model, and because it goes back to 96, 98 whenever they started actually producing them, and that's 18, you know, 96, 98, okay. And you should know that by now. You should have gone back and watched the first video and then come back to this one, right? But just sweet. And again, these things have been used for over 100 years to hunt moose and just everything around the planet. And people swear by this cartridge, all right? It's one reason the 6.5 Creedmoor, I guess, came about even. And it is so popular now as it's kind of based on this. This is sort of the original Creedmoor. Oh, we've got 2-liter on top of the cinder. We'll do both. Take them both out. All right. How about, let's celebrate Kentucky. How about that? I don't know what we're celebrating, but, you know, Kentucky usually provides something to celebrate. I mean, you know, if you're thinking basketball, and not to mention a great education I'm sure a lot of people get at the University of Kentucky, right? Let's not just think sports. Yeah, I switched over to the Fusion there. Let's shoot that big old ugly green tank over there. See if we can hear it. Yep, I heard it. Yeah. Now that's a real challenge, right? With a 6.5 to 55 at 50 or 60 yards. Not too big a challenge. Let's try, I'm going to see if I can get my eyesight in order. I'm going to try the smallest red plate over there. Kind of in the middle, but the smallest one. All right. Old Mr. Tack Driver Model 96. Get the one next to it. Sweet. Sweet. That's what comes to mind when you pull the trigger. So I won't keep you too long. You know, there's a lot about these. I explained that that medallion there. It has to do with, you know, how much holdover you need on this particular rifle. The condition of the bore, talked about that. The beauty of this thing. This was an early one, you know, the walnut stock. Everything, there's nothing really stamped on it, you know. Nothing wrong with stamped firearms. Some of the best firearms on the planet are stamped out. Parts of them are stamped metal. An AK, for example, or just a lot of really durable firearms. And then there are things on firearms, even these old ones, they don't need to be out of milled steel, even though they started out doing it that way. Just like this, the floor plate, you know, on the magazine, and the barrel bands, and just everything is like serious metal and steel. Whereas firearms like this, a little bit later, you know, you're using stamped steel in a lot of these places. And it does just fine and lasts just as long. But there is something special about an old firearm like this where it is made this way. Pretty cool. Let's see. So let's shoot a couple more things and we'll probably let you go. I didn't really bring you out this time to keep you for 40 minutes as I've been known to do. So let's load up this magazine from this clip. How's that? That makes sense? Let's put one on a target, you know. Now this is this might be more of a test than this rifle is up to, because that's pretty far out there. Yeah, I probably missed the whole target. Yeah, we'll see though. And let's, oh, I see a bowling pin that's still standing back there. Ah, went through it and hit the plate. I see a 12-ounce drink right there. Ooh, blew that bucket off there, didn't he? And you know, this pumpkin thinks he got away. I'm going to shoot him while he's down one time at least. And I got 5 more to lay into something, okay? What do y'all want me to shoot? Just tell me. Oh, the big square red plate? Okay. Let's do that. All right. Red plate. Let's pretend he's really tough. Can't miss now. Can't miss on the last shot. So, oh man, ouch, hot. The old 96, model 96, Swedish Mauser. Oh, is a jewel. I just rested the firearm on my remote for my car. It started talking to me. That's funny because I park up there. One time I had the AR-15 out. I had never even set the alarm off on this vehicle I had ever. It had been a year or two I'd had it. I wasn't even sure it worked. And I touched off around from a 5.56. And after the first shot, my car sitting there started talking to me. I set the alarm off. It was pretty funny. But anyway, what was I talking about? Who knows? Nothing important. But no, these are just really nice rifles, and you should try one at some point in your life. As far as negatives and positives, it's a big old rifle. It's kind of heavy, but boy, when it comes time to pull the trigger, and then with that long sight radius, you don't mind it a bit. Yeah. Now, if you're going to battle, you might prefer the carbine. And I talked about the various lengths and versions of this in the first video or two. We did a range 2 video with it. That's back when we called those chapter 2 even. You know, so if I say something about chapter 2 in that video, just ignore me like you normally do. But yeah, we've not done an actual chapter 2. You know, so this is sort of it. Another look at it. And very sweet. So, cock on closing. You know, like I said, when you load this thing up, it's not really cocked until you push that forward. See, it's a little spring. Now it's cocked instead of cocking on opening, like a lot of bolt guns are. So, a beautiful rifle and a sweet one to shoot. Try one out sometime. And I'm glad you came by this beautiful evening, okay, to help me with this. Life is good.
Oh yeah, that's better. This is a great gun for defense. Oh hey, didn't see you guys there. While I've got you here, I want to remind you of our friends over at Talon Grips and Ballistol. Talon Grips makes grips, can you believe it, for all different types of firearms. You can get rough texture or more of a rubberized texture. It just sticks right on there. You know, really affordable, really cool option to improve the grip for your handguns or rifles. So please check them out at talongungrips.com. You'll be glad you did. And also Ballistol. Dad has been using Ballistol for many years. It's a cleaner and a lubricant, and it's non-toxic. It works really great, and we're happy to have them on board since it's been a part of our shooting endeavor for a very long time. So go to ballistol.com, talongungrips.com. And also, while you're out there, I'm juggling all these things here. Also, while you're on the internet, please do check out our other social media like Hickok45 on Facebook. There's also Hickok45 on Twitter. The real Hickok45 on Instagram. There's a John_Hickok45 on Instagram where I do some things. There's Hickok45.com. You can find us also on Gunstreamer. So check out all that stuff and then watch more videos.